Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is set to release later this month on June 30th, and will be Harrison Ford's last ride out as the iconic character, and supposedly the last installment in the franchise. With early reviews already suggesting this film to be the weakest in the franchise, the question I keep asking myself is this movie already doomed before it even makes it to theaters? So this is the fifth installment in the Indiana Jones franchise, coming 15 years after the last one, and somehow they managed to drag an 80-year-old Harrison Ford back into this. God, they must have paid him a lot of money. But you may be asking yourself, why are they even making this film in the first place? Harrison Ford is way too old to convincingly play the character at this point, and there was no real interest in another one considering Kingdom of the Crystal Skull had quite a fitting ending in my opinion. But you have to understand, we live in modern Hollywood, and Disney hasn't exactly been pumping out hits lately. So what do? Take an old beloved franchise, resurrect it from the grave, milk it for whatever money they can still get out of it, and then just let it die again. We live in a modern Hollywood climate with very little creativity. Almost everything nowadays is either a sequel, rehashed idea, or a superhero movie, and almost all of it is garbage. That's Hollywood's business model now. They don't care whether or not it's high quality art as long as it makes money. Stepping away from the business end though, why else do I think this movie might be doomed to fail? Well, for one, this is the first Indiana Jones movie that isn't being directed by Steven Spielberg. In the first four Indiana Jones films, even though there were definitely some that were better than others, they all had a very consistent tone. You could tell that these first four films were the vision of Steven Spielberg and George Lucas. That's not to say that only Spielberg can make a good Indiana Jones film, but it won't surprise me in the slightest if this movie feels a lot different than the ones that came before it. And within such an established franchise like Indiana Jones, I don't think that it was the smartest decision on Lucasfilm's end to bring someone new in to do the final chapter. In terms of the cast, there are definitely some highlights and lowlights. Besides Harrison Ford, some of the noteworthy people in the cast includes Mads Mikkelsen and Antonio Banderas. Mads Mikkelsen will play the villain in this film, which I think is a good choice because he is very good at playing villains. An iconic one that comes to mind was his performance in Casino Royale, but even someone as talented as him can't overcome bad character development and a bad script. An example of Mads himself going through that would be his character from Doctor Strange. You know that Mads is going to try his best, it's just a matter of whether or not the script is good. Antonio Banderas is also in this film. You might know him better as Puss in Boots. This film will also be joined by Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Oh no. If you don't remember who Phoebe Waller-Bridge is...
Going right! We are sent I'm gonna flip your switch! Good luck finding it!
L3!
Yep, that's her. I feel like I would be a lot more optimistic about this film if she wasn't in it. It also looks like Lucasfilm is going to hit the nostalgia train pretty hard with this one. It sounds like they're going to do a lot of flashbacks with the CGI Harrison Ford, which isn't necessarily a bad thing if it helps serve the story, but I know it's just going to look goofy, and they're probably only doing it just to pull at the nostalgia heartstrings. In the end though, do I think this film is going to do well? Well, yes and no. It's definitely going to do financially well. Even though a lot of people might not be expecting much from this movie, I still think that people are definitely going to go out and see it just based on the name value alone. I don't think that it's going to do well among the fans though. If early reviews are anything to go on, it looks like this is shaping up to be the worst film in the franchise. Even though I think that this film is going to suck, however, I'm still going to give it a fair shot, and only time will tell whether this movie proves me wrong or not. If you enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you'll be notified when I post my next video. But anyways, that's all I got for today, guys. I'll see you next time.